Hello and welcome to Shite Talk, the Irish folklore podcast. This week it's part 2 of the wooing of Étaín, or part 3 and 4 put together. I'm not sure what way Jason numbered these. Who knows? But I do know that the first part was last week, and some of it is on the Patreon, which you can find a link for down below. And this is the rest of the story. So this is closing out the myth trilogy / duology. And Jason will be back tomorrow, and we'll be recording in the same room again, which will be good. But yeah, hope you enjoy the end of the myth series, and we'll chat to you soon.
Gather around now, you're in for a story. Old tales of lore, all in search of a glory. The history and mystery of lads, lasses and all. Discoveries and voyages, the rise and the fall. Follow me now as we go back in time. We trace the steps of Irish heritage to find. Joseph from Carlisle and Kevin the dog guide you through the ways of Shite.
Kevin, what do you remember from my myth story?
Midsummer.
And don't tell the audience that we haven't taken a week and a half off in between me telling you the final part of this.
Midsummer Murders. There you go.
That's pretty good.
That would have been good.
There was no
months ago.
There's 1 or 2 murders in this. That's fair. More incest.
No, I don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I made flashcards.
You showed me the flashcards yesterday. There's a lady called Boyne.
Or Bowen, but who went on to become the River Boyne, or is named after her at least.
Yeah. You could have spelled the things phonetically for me.
I know.
I didn't. And then there's Angus.
So to recap the first episode, which some people might be listening to as like right now.
Yeah.
I guess. But there's Dagda. He's like the king god.
Yes.
At the time. His missus.
Zeus.
He's the Zeus. And then you've got the Morrigan, who's the nightmare. That's his wife.
Yes.
And then you've got Elkmar, who's the Dagda's right-hand man in the two of the Dana. And then he's got a wife, Bowen, who wants to bone Dagda.
Yeah, sure.
So then that happens.
Yeah.
They have a kid called Angus.
Yeah.
Angus.
Neither.
Now, Elkmar can't know about Angus.
Of course.
So that to give him away.
He sends him away.
Yeah, to Meader,
Yeah.
who's Dagda's brother, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Now, he's got a wife called Fumnock.
Sure.
Right. They raise Angus.
Yeah. As their own.
Angus gets old enough.
Yeah.
He's like 18 or 20.
They give him a fort.
Well, he wants a fort.
Right.
Because everyone in the land is getting a fort. But sure, he's ran out of forts, the Dagda. So he's like, what we'll do is we'll trick the lad I wrote. Like,
the guy he cooked, send him off.
Yeah. So he tricks him to giving him his fort, which is New Grange.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then so once he has the fort, Meader comes up to visit his son, or his foster son or whatever, like a good foster dad would.
Yeah, sure.
And on the way up, there's lads playing hurling with, instead of a slitter, they've got like a fig tree or something. And then that gets knocked into his eye. Horrible problem. Has to get sorted by the doctor. He's like, come on, son, that's not on. You know what'll make up for this? There's this class-looking young one called Étaín.
Yeah.
Right. Étain's the daughter of Alil.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not too important, but for reference, just...
The Leal.
Yeah. So with Étaín...
Yeah.
So he sends Angus off to woo Étaín for him, which works.
Okay.
So then Meader brings Étaín home. The wife, not best pleased.
No, she wasn't consulted.
She wasn't consulted at all. Fumnock.
Yeah.
So she decides to...
Well, it's no wonder his wife is a nightmare. If he's at this the whole time. But
the history is written by the men.
Yeah, that's true. She was, you wouldn't believe, up my business all the time.
One time you bring back some young one.
Yeah, the rest of the time I have my illegitimate son off doing my business for me. Bringing back young ones. I barely left the house.
That is a great system.
Yeah.
There's a separation between it. She can't catch him on the phone. There's nothing there.
Yeah, it's all internal.
Yeah. So Étaín, she's not happy, so he whisks Étaín off in a giant wind.
Yeah.
And then she has to find, or she turns her into a fly.
Several years away, and she comes back.
Well, she turns into a fly, whispers like 7 years away. And then when she comes back, then he's like, oh, class. Meader's like, I'm going to look after her, have a little hut for her, going to get her back recuperation.
Yeah.
a staycation, if you would. And then she finds out about that. And so she tells Meter and Angus to come up and meet her in this place. And when they go to meet her, she sneaks in. And instead of just killing Étaín, which would end all of this,
no, you got to send her away.
Whisks her off in another 7-year wind, where she ends up in Ulster in the cup of the wife of a giant warrior.
Yeah.
Right. She drinks her, gets pregnant, because that's how it works.
That is how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah. And that's the end of... Well, she's born again.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 years old, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that was the end of... That's as far as we got with that.
Of course, yeah.
Right. I believe, anyway.
Why not?
There's a whole other separate thing that... remember, it was like that hour-long story that's not...
Yeah.
Forget that happened.
There's a beautiful lady turned into a fly, sent away again. Now she's been drank by a giantess.
Yeah.
And birthed.
And Angus went back and killed Fumnock. So now Meter is... He's a single man.
Free and single.
Free to do what he wants.
Yeah.
Not that it would have stopped him in the first place. But
newborn baby, and he's like, oh, it's actually not illegal because she's actually the reincarnation of this other woman I was trying to bang.
I've always been a fan of Woody Allen.
She turned into fly. Your Honor.
Right. So a few years pass, and this is
that's a great. She's actually 1,000 years old. Mm-hmm. Prove me wrong. We're gonna chop her in half and see how many rings she has inside. So, yeah, all right, fair enough. Take her away.
But so she's born now. She's not a fly, she's a woman. This time, right?
This time, yeah.
Yeah. So she's reborn, gorgeous woman. Now there's this high king called Étaín. Right. He took over when his brother, Iacu Feedlock, that we did that story about.
Yeah.
So he died. He's on the lookout for a queen.
Sure.
Because he's
just
king.
heard a baby's been born. So don't worry, Your Majesty, she's 1,000 years old.
He hears of her great beauty.
Yeah.
And he thinks, I actually am in a predicament here because I'm trying to throw this big party and none of the cool lads will go because they want to. I can't go if there's no women around. I need wives. We need wives to hang out to talk to other wives. We're not just having a boys' night in.
In the last episode when we were talking about the fly, there was trying to say at any point that she was a pretty fly for a white guy.
I don't believe.
Damn.
I think I made some references to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I don't know if it landed. I haven't edited the episode yet, so
doesn't Marty
landed like a fly.
I'd like to be a fly on that wall. But so yeah, I think we maybe talked about this before. He's trying to hold a party, but he needs ladies. He needs ladies' night to get the guys in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
What is ladies' night? Shut the fuck up. That's what it is.
But now, so this is the wooing of Étaín. That was all part 1.
Yeah.
This is part 2.
Yeah.
Right. Iacu Éireann. High
King.
Let's call him Éireann.
Sure.
So he falls in love with Étaín.
Yeah.
Number 2, Fly Étaín.
Yeah,
just gonna call it number 2.
With the rebirthed Étaín.
Yes.
Okay.
So he has a brother called Alil, which is not her da.
Okay.
That's why I said it earlier on, just for reference. It is not her da.
Right. He's not. He's Alil. He's not Delil.
And he's also not the Alil who's one of the central characters in the Patreon episode about Iacu Feedlock.
Sure.
Separate Alils.
It's a common name.
3 Alils.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Alil falls also madly in love with Étaín.
Of course.
So much so that he starts wasting away.
He's dying.
Withering away. He's dying from love.
Yeah, okay.
And now Iacu Éireann has to go off and do a tour of Ireland. So this is a great chance for Alil to finally confess his feelings.
What does he do? A tour of Ireland? Like what? Shaking hands? Shaking babies? Pressing?
Kissing babies. So he's like, that baby's 1,000 years old. Now, so Alil decides now that he's off on his big grand tour, out of the gaff, this is my chance. Mm-hmm. So he tells her, she's looking after him as he's getting sick, and he's like, if I love you so much, if we don't do something about this, I'm going to die. And she's like, well, what could we do? He's like, what if we just had the right?
Yeah.
Just like 3 times.
3 times.
Well, so he doesn't want to disrespect the brother, obviously. This is his brother.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Just 3.
Blood's thicker than water.
Semen's thicker than both.
Mm-hmm.
So what is his plan? So he's like dying.
Yeah, he's told her he's dying. Now he is
phone charger up his nose. He's like, you won't believe it. It's got me. I'm riddled. The doctors, though, I've been talking to some Eastern doctors, and they say there's a chance.
The Arabians.
Yeah. But
so, right. he doesn't want to disrespect the brother. It's not on.
That's just not.
Do it in
I
the
wasn't a
house.
racist aside about the Arab community. I've been reading 1001 Arabian Nights.
Oh, you was. That was for me.
That was. Yeah,
I haven't been reading the Arabian Nights.
I read a great summary of the whole 1001 tales, and it's basically every single tale is just about how your wife's cheating on you with an African man.
That
every
is probably true.
Probably true. Well,
Probably
that's
true.
the whole framework of the thing is that the king or the sultan, his wife cheats on him, so he kills her. Obviously, cheats on her with a slave. Then he goes over to his brother, who's also a sultan. He's like, "You're not going to believe what happened." Walks in, his wife's also cheating on him, also with a slave. They kill him. The two of them are like, fuck, let's go wander around the world, much like Iyiku's doing. Then they find the king of the genies. The king of the genie's wife is like, "Fuck me now." And they're like, "Oh, even the genie's wife's cheating on them. Maybe that's just how women are." So in order to process this, he decides to have a new virgin wife every night, and then he kills them the next morning so they can't cheat.
So they can't. That's not a bad system.
It's a hell of a system. And then eventually he's running out of women, and this woman, I don't even know how to pronounce her name, Shadajzod, she puts herself forward. And in order to stop him killing her,
tells a really interesting stories to
every
keep
night.
Every night.
Yeah,
I haven't heard this
1001
before.
Yeah, that's the framework. Each of the stories that she tells involves, a lot of them involve cheating, because she's trying to teach him, don't kill me. Stop killing women. So it's interesting.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
How did you come across this?
I don't know. I have no idea. I was closing off tabs on my laptop. I was like, apparently I was reading about this a while ago.
No, because I know that story, but we
Yeah.
must have talked about. It's not important.
But it's all like the Sinbad the Sailor, Aladdin, Alibaba the 40 Thieves.
Sailor, I'll say.
Yeah, well, those are all added in afterwards, but it's great. It's just a lot of stories about like if you leave your wife alone for even a second, she will be getting on that dick.
That is just
But sometimes that's okay. That was the lesson eventually. It's like don't stop killing me.
So even then they referenced the color.
Oh yeah,
that was like a big
Yeah.
part.
Oh yeah, like it's very much because I read some quotes from it. I haven't read 1001 of the stories, and obviously there's like translations and translations of translations, and it gets like morphed over the years, and like different stories are added on. But
You're
a lot
dead
of
right.
it,
That girl in translations does fuck the English guy, and she's meant to go with the Irish.
there's a lot of references to like the animalistic handsomeness of the East Africans compared to the whiny white pathetic. It's really, at some point, whoever got handed the translation had a deep-seated fear. And it really comes through, apparently.
Do they know who wrote it?
No, because it's a collection of stories over centuries.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
but they would
But
all be
who-
funneled through certain like translators.
Someone would have, the orator or whatever would have had to,
Yeah.
like the editor.
Yeah.
All I know is that
And
guy
he was
or a
writing
girl.
through it quickly because his wife was at home with the servant. But,
They're not ready for the male love yet. I'll switch it to male and female.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting. And I remember this story as a kid from it, where there's like a guy gets 3 wishes, and he wishes he had a sausage, and then his wife's like, "You bloody idiot! You've wished you had you've ruined the wish in the sausage. You wish the sausage was stuck to your face." His nose gets replaced by the sausage, and he realizes that he has to spend his 3rd wish getting his nose back.
Wait, but so he wished that.
He just said absentmindedly that he wished he had a sausage.
Yeah,
And then
right,
his
which is
wife's
fair.
like, "You're
But-
an idiot."
And then he was like, I wish I had the sausage on my
No,
face.
she also uses his second
She gets
wish.
the wish.
Yeah.
When she's a bigger, she deserves to die.
Well, it turns out the
Wait, did he
original
kill her?
story was that he wished he had a giant dick, and then it's too big, so he wishes that it was gone, and he has no dick, and he has to wish that he had his original dick back.
Not like a
But he
slightly,
blames-
still a slightly bigger.
Yeah, but it's all because that story shows up a lot, and the moral is like just be happy with what you have. But the
Yeah.
original version is with
It's a penis.
penises, and
Which
he
is-
blames her
Yeah.
because she's like, "Be nice if you had a bigger dick." I wish I had a giant, a cock the size of a horse, not a horse's cock, one the size of a horse. And then he's like, "That's too big," and then he has none, and then he goes back to the start.
Interesting, because he could have been like, I wish I had a slightly smaller penis than this giant one.
Yeah.
And he's just like, does want no dick.
Because what he's like, he
Maybe he
panics
was-
and he's like, I don't want this, get rid of it, and then it's gone. All of it. He's like a eunuch.
Good practical joke though. He'd be like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
Just go freak someone out, and then they're like, "Oh, what happened to your penis?" They go, "What did you do to it?" It was
Yeah.
there a second ago.
He didn't see the funny side of it. I imagine you just going to schools and like taking your pants down, and then when they call the guard, you just there with a big smile on your face, be like, I think you'll find everything above board here, officer. I have no penis.
I'm gonna guess still illegal.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they'll find some way to get you. They always do.
They always do. Keeping a good man down.
Yep. Anyway,
so we had so Alil, the brother, of Aram. So he says, right, what if we? Because I'm not sure if he asked for 3 rides or basically just says, can we meet? He doesn't want to disrespect him, so not in the castle, not in his own abode
not in
or
his
bed.
bed.
That's not on. He's like, let's go meet atop of the hill.
Yeah,
right around the way. So she agrees to it. Goes up. In Celtic porno.
Yeah,
just goes on.
Yeah.
Druid, big staff.
Yeah.
Is that a scepter in your pants? You're just happy to see me. But so he says meet him up on top of the hill. She agrees, but the first time she doesn't do anything because it just feels wrong. It just feels a bit odd and weird.
He's banging her brother-in-law.
Yeah, who's always also having sex with a dying man.
Yeah.
He's
dying.
He's
dying for the ride.
Dying for the now, the second time, same thing. She just doesn't. It feels odd and it doesn't feel right. And then on the third time, she's like, I will go one more time. And she goes up there, and it's revealed to her then by Alil that it's not Alil at all.
It was a test.
It was I don't know if it's so much of a test as it was just Meader in disguise.
What? Why?
Now, she doesn't have any memory of Meader because this is in her this is post-fly time. This is a new version after she's been reborn, so she has no memories of what happened before.
I am going to put forth that it's just like a 14-year-old, and you're like, no, it's actually fine because she used to be this beautiful woman. She turned into a fly. It is just a child.
I'm telling you, she loves me. I have no idea who you are. I'm telling you, she loves me.
I remember you, though. So, Meader, yeah. So he goes up and he explains their past, everything. Now, hold on. Listen to this.
She says fair enough. There's kind of weird shit going on in this gaff as well. Alil's trying to ride me. The husband has gone off on tour. So do you know what? If you say that I used to love you, why not?
I used to love you once, a long time ago.
112 years, 1,012 years to be.
Oh, it was a fly.
But so there is one condition to this that she makes him get the approval from Aram.
Right.
Happy enough to write the brother. She never technically did. Also, I think when this happened, Meader is just after knocking out your man who's dying.
And was he like
used shapeshifts?
Which he can do.
So he knocks out like multiple times.
Yeah,
this dying man.
Yeah,
just to go up and pretend to be him.
Sure. Yeah. I don't think that guy is dying though. He's just chancing his arm.
It's a great.
Yeah.
Now, Aram comes back from his trip
around,
and so Alil's there.
Yeah.
By this stage, Meader, making up for knocking Alil out and all that, he's after fixing him, so he's not dying anymore. No chance of the ride.
Damn.
Yeah, he's like, I can fix you. No, it's grand. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he's gone now. There's
he thought it was like he was dying of a broken heart, and it was like, no, you've got
stage 4
leukemia.
I just love you.
I just love you. No, you need to lay off the cigarettes.
But so Iaku Aram comes back. So when he comes back, Meader challenges Aram to a game of Fidchel,
which is that weird game you showed me.
Celtic chess, ancient Celtic chess that we can buy online and play on a live stream for the Patreon.
Nice.
Yeah, you love chess. I like old things.
Sure. There's not anything like chess. It's just a board game.
It's a board game that looks like a chess board, but in the middle of it is it's like a defense versus the people on the outside attacking the fort.
Yeah, so it's like Ludo.
I've never played that.
Yeah.
Ludo, no. Risk I've done before.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just don't wear the condom. But so when he comes back, he's like, let's do this Fidchel game. First up, smashes him. Meader loses. So he's not getting it.
Yeah.
And what does he get as the forfeit instead? He has to build him a causeway, which is currently a trackway in Longford. He's like, double or nothing. It's nothing. So 50 horses.
Yeah.
Triple or nothing. 50 ivory swords. This keeps going. It's
Right.
like 50 gold swords, 50 boars, cows, calves, 50 cent get richer by trying. And every time Meter loses to Iaku, and Iaku's getting very confident.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you just take your winnings, you leave the casino. I don't know how good an ivory sword would be.
Well,
Supposed to call it
maybe,
tusk.
never about one. How about 50?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Now, Meter is like, what about one last go?
Yeah.
And this time, just to change it up, let's pick the forfeit after the game.
Okay. Yeah, he says as he like
He's looking
changes
over
his
with.
pool cue from his right to his left hand and starts laughing.
So they play.
Yeah.
Shock.
Damn. He's
Meter
been hustling.
wins. He's pretty good at this Fidchel game all along.
Right.
Now, he has also lost all of these calves and cattle and just like...
Oh, so this isn't a double or nothing situation. This is he's just losing each of the
He's just
forfeits.
losing all of this more and more and more and more. And
Yeah.
at the end, he wins one. So I don't think it was double or nothing. I think he says to give him all of that. But he
Right.
does get
his wife.
his wife. And
Yeah.
he says he wants to shift her.
Yeah. So when she's like, there's one condition to this relationship.
You
I
have
need
to go and
be a
ask.
man
Yeah.
and just go and ask him, man to man, just ask him straight up. He's like, all right, I have another idea.
Oh, yeah, how about this?
What about this? I hustle him at the game of chess. I won your heart by pretending to be his brother-in-law. Now I'll just hustle him with Fidchel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it works.
Yeah, of course it
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Gets the forfeit. But Aram's like, that's fine. Bet's a bet. That's very fair. Just have me a little time to process it. Don't want to do it right now. Just how will you come back in a month? And
Yeah.
then that's fine. Now,
By which stage everyone's turned into a spider.
no, at which stage he's after putting a fort around the place he's after
Yeah.
hiring all the soldiers around. He's got like,
He's got all those ivory swords now.
no, that is actually dead true.
Yeah.
He really shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't
No.
have given him.
Yeah.
So he's up to like all the best warriors from the land. He's got weapons and everything. But when Meter gets there, sure, he's magical and everything. He just blows right past it and walks in.
Oh.
Meter, there you are. I hope you didn't. I hope the defense stuff didn't get in your way. There's actually lads coming in a couple of weeks who are just trying to get that.
Yeah.
I was they were just practicing. Oh, I'm sorry that they didn't know you were. Oh man, I'm gonna have words with them.
There'll be stern words.
But then he just goes over and gets Étaín and flies away. I think what he does is he kisses her, and once they embrace, they turn into swans and fly off.
Nice.
So Iaku, or as it's pronounced in English, cuckold, doesn't like this one bit. So he hunts him down with all his men to the place where he lives.
Right.
But Meter says,
Well, he hasn't got a leg to stand on. He lost fair and square in a rigged game of feature.
that is true, but he's just like, do you know what? It's not on.
You know what? That's not
It's
okay.
not okay.
Okay.
But so he goes and finds him, and Meter's like, man, come on, just chill out for a second. Your wife will come back to you tomorrow, which is fair.
Okay.
He just wants her for the one night, which he hadn't said before.
Sure.
The next day, Iaku goes down. He's greeted by 50 Étains.
Oh.
Yeah, and an old hag comes up to him and says, choose the one, which is your wife.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then bad will happen or whatever. But if you pick her, then you'll realize that is really her and you can have her. So you have to love her and know her between 50 different versions of herself.
Well, I'd say at that point you'd be like, Meter, let's strike a deal.
Yeah,
You
I'll take
give me 3, 4 of them.
49.
You keep the rest of them.
Yeah.
I'm not being greedy. You have the rest.
Yeah,
Why didn't you tell me this power before? That's fine. That's fine. You keep most of them. I'll take 3 or 4.
Yeah.
5 home, and that's we'll call the square.
Well, the hag's not having
6.
I assume he has tried that.
Yeah, for sure.
And the hag's like, nah, man.
Yeah.
You gotta pick one.
You gotta put the hag in haggle. Come on, lady. Shit, did you call me a hag? I meant put the beautiful woman in
Hag.
haggle.
So, yeah, he has to pick between them all. So he's having a look around, chatting or whatever, and he's like, do you know what? He chooses.
Yeah.
And correctly, because she doesn't turn into like a demon or a boar or a bull with like 3 heads or anything.
Yeah.
So they go home, have some nice makeup sex. She gets pregnant.
Oh,
Happily ever after.
nice.
And then Meter shows up and he's like, hey, Iaku Aram, just wanted to
That's
let you
my
know
kid.
that Étaín is actually, before I stole her, she was pregnant with your own daughter and you just fucked your own daughter.
What?
Yes.
But how did he?
That is like a pretty big story in Irish mythology.
Yeah.
That he gets 50 of them, puts it in magic or whatever, but so he chooses
speed
yeah,
runs.
and they all look the same, whatever, but he just picks one, which is just a carving out copy. It's his own daughter, so he's after riding his own daughter, and now she's pregnant, so they have that child.
An abomination.
So he's...
So this is just... I can't remember if you've seen the film. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Fuck. Yeah, because I think you mentioned that you hadn't seen it recently. This is exactly
The plot of
a film.
No, I don't know what this...
Yeah, there'll be a very obvious one that comes to mind.
Okay, what's the name? You don't know the name? I will come back to it.
I do know the name.
Oh, what's the name?
No, I can't say because it's something I think you said you wanted to watch it recently, and I have half of a memory. It's either you or Lisa.
I don't know the plot of this movie. I just know it's a good movie.
Yeah, one of you said that you're like, oh, I'd like to see that. And this, yeah.
Shit, I would like to see that.
Damn it. We could be doing fun voices now if you'd seen the thing. All right, never mind. Everyone at home is probably shouting at the...
We'll do an update for the Patreon, even if it's not tangentially even linked to Irish anything, is it?
Oh, no.
Well, we'll still watch it for the film club, and we'll do a little half hour.
Of course.
Yeah. So... so now he's granddad and dad to the same child. He orders the daughter.
Does he have an issue with this, or is he just like...
Oh, no, yeah. He's like, we're going to expose her.
Okay.
Which is like just leaving her out in the wild to die. Right. So... But also, I think he just stays with the daughter, like the daughter Étaín. There's no like, oh, get rid of her as well. He's like, I just don't want to have a kid with her.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. He's like, he might still stay with the daughter.
Yeah.
Woody Allen style again.
Yeah.
But anyway, this kid, Mess Bukala is her name, right?
Okay.
Should just call her Mess, I guess.
Yeah.
So she goes on.
At no point is she like, I don't remember you, Dad.
Well, she wouldn't have ever met him.
Yeah, I know, but why? Yeah, but why does she not say that when he brings her back? Is she not like, we've never met?
Probably.
Yeah,
but he's not.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Call me Daddy.
But now she's found when she's left out exposed.
Yeah.
By a farmer and his wife. They raise her. She goes on to marry her granddad / father's, his successor as the High King.
Okay.
His name's Étaín. It wasn't even a prophecy. That wasn't like you'll leave her exposed and she'll go on to... That's just happened.
That's just what happens when you put the work in.
Yeah.
Pull yourself up with her bootstraps.
But he might have married her by force, I meant to say. And in that version, I think she's sleeping one night and she's visited by a man who's in the form of a bird. And they go for a ride.
Nope.
And out pops future High King of Ireland, Conor Moore.
No way.
Yeah. Big Con.
Yeah.
And there's no, or there's no Birdman, and they love each other, and that's all bollocks.
Either or.
And they have Conor Moore, and everything else in between, I guess.
Yeah.
But either way, he's brought up as Étaín kid. Iku gets killed in the end by Meader's grandson.
Okay.
Iku Aram, that was.
Yeah.
So
Sigmal Sisente, he burns him to death. That's not as important, but just let you know.
Yeah.
Now remember Elkmar.
Vaguely.
Yeah, he's the guy who got cooked by Dagda. He's his right hand man from the very beginning.
He
right?
got fucked. He got sent off so Angus would have his house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Elkmar, the lad who's Mrs. River Boyne.
Yeah.
So she doesn't leave him. She stays with him after. She just wanted to ride the Dagda once.
Of course.
Yeah. Who wouldn't? So they stay together, have a child called Englek, who falls in love with her half brother or stepbrother Angus.
Right.
Despite having never met him before, or known, or maybe even knows he exists, but
she can feel it.
That she knows.
Yeah.
Love at first thought.
But they're not related by blood.
No, they are, because Meader's his dad, his young uncle, I guess. Yeah.
The same man.
Yeah. So in some accounts, he's in love with her.
Yeah.
In some, I guess she loves him and is off to see a hurling match or something. But on the way there, she's abducted.
No.
Because women aren't safe in this country. They never have been. She's been abducted by none other than Meader.
No way.
Yeah, he's stolen her.
Why?
By force. Because Étaín's... Actually, I don't know at this stage what's going on with Étaín. That's just she was all right back in the day. But once she hit 113, I was like...
Yeah.
The good days are gone.
Knock 100 over there back in the game.
So that, which also, so it is Angus's, she loved, so I don't know.
Okay.
But, so Meader's stolen her.
Yeah. Stolen her heart.
No,
along with the rest of her
no,
body.
physical body was the main thing.
All
Yeah,
right.
and Elkmar is not happy about this at all. The da, so he tracks Meter down, kills him.
Damn.
End of Meter. Don't worry about him anymore. Then Angus isn't happy that Meter's after dying because he's his uncle.
Right.
So he tracks down Elkmar
Okay, yeah.
and gets revenge of his own. Little murder.
Isn't Alkmaar his dad? Foster dad? Stepdad?
No, he's no Dagda's his dad who rode.
Sorry, yeah.
Elkmar is his mother's husband. His real mother's husband, or his biological mother's husband.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's tracked him down then.
Yeah.
So revenge for that.
Yeah.
He's killed him.
Yeah.
And also just for fun, there's a fun murder Lou, the big King Zeus. Lou, as I've said, everyone's Zeus at this stage.
Loud, yeah.
Yeah. So he has multiple wives. He's a poet.
As is the style and to draw it still.
But he's a poet. He writes a story that Kermit has rode one of Lou's wives,
Right.
which might be true
Okay.
because women always cheat.
That's what we've done.
But so Lou kills Kermit,
Yeah.
and then Angus kills the poet. So that's just another. Everyone's killing everyone.
You sure?
That's fun. But
Everyone needs to be dead before St. Patrick is there.
yeah, but then the Dagda brings Kermit back to life after crying tears of blood, and Oma would go on to be the father of Mac Ket or Mac Green or Mac Cool, where the story all started.
No.
Fionn McCool's dad.
Fionn McCool's dad. That guy.
But that's not the end of the story. I got one extra little bit.
Okay.
Because Angus has a brother. You would have heard of him, Bo Darragh.
Yeah.
He goes to him for some help
Yeah.
because he's looking for a wife. And most relationship he knows of end up going pretty south.
Yeah.
Everyone either cheats on their other partner or murders them or tries to bring Étaín in for a sexy threesome.
Of course.
So he's like, I'm going to go to Angus.
Every time a fly buzzes through the kitchen, the wife's like, what the fuck? Not again.
Well, actually, yeah, so
You and your whores.
but he's gone to Angus. He's like, you will get me a good wife. He's like, when Angus has done anything, anytime Angus is involved in any relationship,
Yeah.
that he's not, like, it's either the girl who loved him, abducted by Meter.
Yeah.
He killed his own ma, or
sure.
his foster ma,
Yeah.
because his dad was cheating. And
Yeah.
he had found that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
so it's like, why
Okay.
would you go to him?
He.
Specifically for the reason that I know of a lot of bad relationships, so I want to go to you.
But I thought,
I've seen a lot of bad relationships.
I thought you went to his. No, Bo Darragh.
Yeah, so Bo Darragh goes to Angus to be like,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like,
Oh,
you've
I
got
thought
some
Angus went to-
experience in this, don't you? He's
Yeah.
like, well, I know a lot of people who've died because of love, but
Yeah.
so
It's a sad indictment of, being a man in this country. Sometimes you're so fucked up, you turn around looking for help. The person's just as fucked up.
that's true.
Yeah. You're like, I've only seen one of the Joker films. They're like, I've actually seen all three. Let me
There's a
guide you.
third joke.
Oh, you're not even
End
ready.
this podcast. I want to know why he's sad.
Yeah. Where did he get those scars? So Red Cow of Roundabout fame.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So Bo Darragh
Yeah.
has this dream.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Dream of Angus.
Okay.
That lasts for a year, and in it he sees the woman he's meant to marry.
Right.
Every time he reaches out to her, though, in the dream, she disappears.
Oh.
But he eventually awakens and has a new mission.
Find the dream woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So his Dagda,
Yep.
his ma, Bone,
Oh, yeah.
they go looking for her as well
Okay.
to help him. So does the cow that created the Milky Way. But no luck.
That's not
That's exactly what happened.
what
That is
happened.
exactly. You shut
They
your
wouldn't-
mouth. That's what happened.
Why is it called the Milky Way? I never thought about that before. Is it because it came from a cow? A magic cow?
Yeah.
An Irish cow?
Yeah.
There's no way that they rewrote that. They didn't know it was called the Milky Way back then.
They didn't know it existed. They didn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But so yeah, they go looking for her anyway with the cow, and to no avail.
Yeah.
But Bo comes up trumps after another year of searching. He sends Angus up to the lake of the Dragon Mouth,
Okay.
where he sees 75 pairs of women.
75 pairs of women.
Pairs of women.
His Dragon's Mouth is a lesbian nightclub.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is no fire exits in here.
Yeah, yeah.
The women are chained up including his dream girl.
So it's one of those nightclubs. Okay.
Berlin.
Yeah.
Care Ibor Meth is her name. So I'll call it Care.
Okay.
Only problem is, every second Halloween, or Samhain, the girls all turn into swans and fly away for a year. So
Well,
every second
right.
year they turn into swans and fly away for 1 year, come back, grand for 2 years, and then swan year.
Okay. This 1 year sounds better. What's with the other 2 years? You're locked in a lake.
You're chained up beside a lake.
Yeah. The swans not so bad.
Oh, so
What's
yeah.
with all the swans?
Ireland is obsessed with them. It must have been the children of the year, or whoever wrote this story at the time was like, you know what took off?
Yeah.
This swan story.
Yeah, they're just Hollywood execs being
Throw
like,
in-
yeah, throw in a swan. People like when people turn into swans.
Yeah.
Can the swan kill his mother?
Well.
No.
So yeah, he's told he's allowed to marry Care if he can identify her
As a swan.
as a swan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he does that.
He can't even identify her as a woman. He's just dreamt of her.
Yeah, exactly.
All
But
right.
in that dream, sexy swan.
Okay.
He didn't mention, and that's why no one could find him. The cow, his ma, his dad,
yeah.
going looking. Is like, what does she look like? Is I don't know. She's kind of
Long neck.
white hair,
Yeah.
big neck,
Yeah. Wide wingspan. I mean, span. Arm span.
Yeah,
2 arms? Yeah.
2 feet.
She's a swan.
Talons. She's got talons.
He can't lose, really. Either he gets it right or he gets to sleep with a sexy swan. Because he's going to pick the most attractive swan.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
That if in doubt, just pick the sexiest swan, because
Yeah.
if you're wrong, at least you have a sexy swan.
That's it, yeah.
Right. So he guesses, picks sexy swan,
Yeah.
and then
This is like the end of Indiana Jones. There's the knight there. He's like, this is the sexiest swan. You've chosen correctly.
you can't bring her out of here though.
That's fine.
That's grand. I just want
Okay. To be honest, what I'm about to do is best kept inside the circle.
to be honest, if I could never make eye contact with her again,
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
Now, so he picks her, he's right, and then turns himself into a swan, and
Okay.
they fly off together back to his gaff near Newgrange.
Yeah.
They might have other kids, but they definitely have one, which is Diarmid. Of
The ugly
Diarmid.
duckling.
No, Diarmid and Grania.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all linked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did they do like cute meet stories of like, how did your parents meet? Because it'll take like 7 hours.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh yeah, they're in the same class in college.
And also it feels like there's only about...
My dad had a dream. And then he had to pick my mum out of a lineup. But they're all bloody swans.
Yeah, but it does seem like back in the day Ireland had about 100 people in it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everyone was involved in everything.
Sure.
Now...
It's Diarmid.
Yeah, so Diarmid Grania, just it doesn't really mean anything, but I just had to. I didn't want to end it on a very sad, weird note. So
yeah.
I tagged in the swan bit at the end to be like,
Sure.
love exists.
Yeah,
he
it's-
actually found love and didn't kill her
Yeah.
or ride his daughter
Or anything.
or anything.
They just turned into swans.
Just turned into swans.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
All right.
the end of the myth story.
Very nice.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. I'd started that and I got way too into the weeds with it,
Yeah.
and now we probably have 2 episodes.
It was erratic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was good.
You're going to get to listen to it again and learn it all.
Yeah. It's the ramblings of a lunatic, really.
Yeah.
Most of it. But it was fun.
I guarantee you the first and second part will make sense when you listen to them. That's fine.
Maybe.
It's that middle section on Patreon that's oof.
Worth buying.
That is exactly what I meant by the woof.
Woof, 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 woof.
It's worth buying.
It's a fucking bargain.
Yeah, £5. You also get like 70 other hours of content.
That's
So
true.
just go do that. And then sure, look, we'll be back with you next week.
Yep. Good luck.
Shafter.